I won't lie, I love these comments. So here at our sanctuary, I really love to focus heavily on enrichment. So all of the things that you see in my videos, all of the crazy slides and playgrounds, the wind chimes and other weird things that you see hanging off of the spools, the ramps and pools and all of the cute buildings, they all serve a really important purpose, and that's enrichment. Animal enrichment is the process of providing captive animals with some form of stimulation in order to encourage their natural behaviors, which helps them to improve and maintain their physical and mental health. To put it simply, it's basically just making sure that you're providing the animals with something to do to keep them happy and healthy. The type of enrichment given to animals should always depend on what their natural behaviors are that they would normally exhibit in the wild. For example, goats naturally love to climb up high and all over everything, so we created this whole maze in the sky for them. When I first started rescuing, I noticed early on that rescue animals especially tend to always have destructive behaviors. Now, some of these behaviors are just due to them being born with a little bit of extra spiciness, like our Scout for example, but that unfortunately causes them to get rehomed, and others end up developing these destructive behaviors along the way due to traumas that they have to deal with. So when we were trying to break these destructive behaviors, we noticed that by providing these rescues with lots of enrichment activities to stimulate their mind, it keeps them occupied and happy and healthy, and their destructive tendencies just tend to kind of disappear. You see, in the wild, animals have to find food, create housing, escape predators, but in captivity and domestic situations, food, water, housing, and security is all provided. So they don't have to worry about anything because we take care of all of it for them. So ideally, animals should be given multiple types of enrichment, just like they would in the wild, and the form of enrichment should be changed periodically to continue giving them new stimulation. There's 5 different categories when it comes to enrichment. There's sensory enrichment, which is anything that stimulates the animal's senses, like scratch boards or new smells or different sounds. Then there's social enrichment, which is anything that includes any sort of social interactions. That could be just allowing your animals to interact with other species of animals as long as they get along pretty well. That could be stuffed animals or mirrors to stimulate company, anything like that. Then you have cognitive enrichment, which is just anything new or challenging that will cause your animal to think. A good example of this is the puzzle feeders, where they have to solve a puzzle to obtain their food. Then you have physical enrichment, which is exactly what it sounds like, something to just keep their habitat fun and keep them exercising and healthy. And then you have our animals' personal favorites, which is food enrichment, which basically just involves introducing new food items or different ways for the animals to get their food, which might encourage their natural foraging behaviors. There is so much more that goes into animal care than just feeding them and cleaning up their poop. So I spend a lot of time focusing on how to create an environment that they can truly thrive in. To be honest, enrichment is one of my favorite things to talk about because it's so important, but oftentimes it gets overlooked. Join the animals and I tomorrow for a fun live creating all sorts of animal enrichment.